Good morning. This is the Board of Appeals, Town of Hempstead, June 12th, 9:30 a.m. meeting. Will everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Chairman, do you have any opening remarks?
Good morning. For those of you who have not appeared here before, the manner in which we conduct the hearings is as follows. If there are any requests for adjournments, we will take them first, after which we will call the regular calendar. We're not burdened by this is a quasi-judicial board, so we're not burdened by the strict rules of evidence. The hearings are conducted as follows. The applicant will present their case, after which, if there are any objectors, the objectors will be given a chance to voice their objections, and then the applicant will be given the opportunities to sum up. Right? Patrick, any requests for adjournment?
Mr. Chairman, there's an application due to a defective notice for an adjournment, case 40524 near Valley Stream, Monday, Ogdebemedia. Okay. Okay, again, defective notice, case 40524, near Valley Stream, also known as 948 Asken Street.
Is there anyone here on this case? Not yet. Defective notice. We'll put that on second call.
Yes.
Any other applications for adjournment, Patrick?
That is it.
Okay.
First, we'll call case 39224, Oceanside, LA 3 Corporation doing business as La Parma 3, renewal of grant to maintain canopy sign, also known as 410 Merrick Road. State your name and address for the record.
Morning. Good morning. Name and address for the record.
Oh, I'm sorry, Richard Viella.
Sir, can you please speak into the microphone?
Speak into the microphone.
Richard Viella, La Palma Restaurant, 410 Merrick Road, Oceanside, New York, 11572.
Okay. So you're here for a renewal of a grant to maintain a canopy sign. The building department inspected the premises on April 1st, 2024, and they found that all conditions previously imposed by this board have been complied with. Do you have anything you'd like to add?
No, sir.
Okay. Do I have any questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I would move that the hearing be closed, that the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Mr. Viella, you'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered, okay?
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? You're done. Have a good day.
Next, we have case 39324, near Lawrence, Taco Bell of America Incorporated, renewal of grant to maintain one double-face illuminated detached ground sign setback 5 feet from the property line, also known as 325 Rockaway Turnpike.
Thank you. Good morning. Michael Zabson, Sir Tillman, Ballin, Adler, and Hyman, 90 Merrick Avenue, East Meadow, New York, 11554, for the applicant Taco Bell.
Good morning.
Yes, this is an application to grant a renewal to maintain the drive-through sign. This Taco Bell is on the west side of Rockaway Turnpike in Lawrence. It's one of the better-maintained properties in the area. I've checked. I'm not aware of any complaints or issues from any of the neighbors. There are no issues with regard to the drive-through. It's a well-designed drive-through on a large piece of property. I actually have pictures that I'd like to hand up if I can.
We'll accept those in evidence.
Thank you. In addition to the drive-through, there's a separate exit for the parking lot itself, so that, makes certain that there's no backup, no issues with the drive-through.
Okay.
I'd request a renewal of the grant to maintain the drive-through sign.
For the record, the building department inspected the premises on April 4th, 2024, and they also found that all conditions previously imposed by this board have been complied with. Do I have any questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Yes, I have a question too. Mr. Zapson, it looks like, so there's the ground sign, oh, okay, it is the ground sign, yeah. All right, I have no further questions. In that case, you have any questions?
And did you indicate this is a drive-through? I mean, I know it's a drive-through, but that's not what's being renewed.
No, it's the sign.
Okay, thank you.
Sign. Right.
I misunderstood, thank you.
But
Any oth-
it's the menu sign for the drive-through, right?
Correct.
Not the normal sign that comes.
Right.
Mr. Chairman, I would just move that the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Mr. Zapson, you'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Next is case 39424, Hewlett, 1229 Broadway Associates LLC. Renewal of grant to maintain one double-face illuminated detached professional ground sign, 31 square feet per face and overall size 63 square feet, overall height 7 foot 6.5 inches, setback 3 feet 1 inch from property line, and wall signs exceeds 1 square foot of each resident practitioner. Also known as 1229 Broadway.
Good morning.
Morning.
John Tannenbaum.
Go ahead, address, sorry.
The
Your address.
And name.
15 River
He
Street,
said his
New
name.
Rochelle, New York, 10801.
Morning.
Morning.
You're here for renewal of a grant to maintain a double-faced illuminated detached professional ground sign. 31 square feet per face and overall size 63 square feet, overall height 7 foot 6.5 inches, setback 3.1 feet from the property line, and wall sign exceeds 1 square foot of each resident practitioner. It's at the southeast corner of Broadway and Ives Road in Hewlett. Building Department inspected the premises on April 9, 2024, and they found that all conditions previously imposed by this board have been complied with.
I have a question. Sir, are there two signs or one? Because it says "and wall sign," it's oddly worded.
Are there two signs or one?
It's one side. I think there's two sides to it. It's a,
Yeah,
it's a monument sign, so it's perpendicular to the building.
Right, that's the professional ground sign.
Yes.
But at the end of this calendar item, it says height such and such, setback such 3 feet 1 inch from property line, and wall sign. So I wasn't sure if there's an additional wall sign in it, or,
There is a wall sign that's been there for 30, 40 years.
And it, I
Is
I
it,
guess it names the individual practitioners in the building.
I'm sorry. It's very,
It names the individual practitioners in the building.
no, I think it just says for information, call.
is it 1 foot square?
It exceeds
Yeah,
that.
basically.
Okay, so it's just important we clarify this. So you want to renew both signs. We don't want to fall through the cracks, renew one sign, and one day you have an administrative nightmare.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
there is in fact a 1 foot square wall sign, and then you have your ground sign. Thank you.
Yeah, the conditions have not changed since the signs were installed.
Yeah, as I said, the building department inspected it on April 9th, found that all conditions previously imposed by the board were complied with. Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
No, the owner ownership has maintained the sign exactly as it requested when it started this process many years ago.
Any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I would just move that the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Mr. Tannenbaum, you'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Thank you.
opposed? Any
Have a nice day.
abstentions?
Well, there's another case probably
Okay.
following it.
Next, we have case 39524, Hewlett 301 Mill Road Corporation LLC. Renewal of grant to maintain one double-faced illuminated detached professional sign, 21.25 square feet per face, and overall size 42.5 square feet, setback 3 feet 4 inches from property line, also known as 301 Mill Road. Sir, we have you sworn in from earlier. Just your name and address again for the record.
John Tannenbaum, 15 River Street, New Rochelle, New York, 10801.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Again. So this is a renewal of a grant to maintain a double-faced illuminated detached professional sign, 21.25 square feet per face, overall size 42.5 square feet, setback 3 feet 4 inches from the property line. The property was inspected also on April 9, 2024, and the building department found that all conditions previously imposed by the board have been complied with. Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
No, it's the same story as before.
Okay, any questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Mr. Tannenbaum, you'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Thank you for your time.
Next, we have case 39624, Lido Beach, Ruben and Jane Leibowitz. Renewal of grant to maintain pool with spa and pool equipment not permitted in front yard on Prescott Street and Ocean Boulevard, and 6-foot-high wood and stone fences larger than pool installation area and forward of dwelling which may substantially obstruct line of sight, a portion of each within clear sight triangle, also known as 78 Prescott Street.
Morning, McDonald, 99 Parkside Drive, Port Lookout.
This
Wait.
is, go ahead.
You
I'm representing,
He's representing the
Ruben
applicant.
oh, okay. You know the confusion. So
Okay.
you're here, and when you speak, speak up so she can take it down, because it's hard for you guys to hear us and vice versa. So this is, you're representing Ruben and Jane Leibowitz?
correct.
Okay. And this is renewal of their grant to maintain their pool and their spa, fence, stone fence, et cetera. And you're here, and, well, you want to, building it, you want to tell me?
Right. The building department inspected the premises on March 12, 2024, and found that all conditions previously imposed by this board have again been complied with. Do you have anything else you'd like to add? If not,
Does this have to come up for a renewal every 5 years?
it does. It
Does that have
does.
to continue, or can this be?
Yeah, certain cases have to be granted on a temporary
You have
basis.
to keep. All right. Any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Mr. McDonald, you'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Second? All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Next, we have case 39724, Merrick Charles and Angela Mielo. Renewal of grant to maintain two-family dwelling and detached garage, also known as 1924 Commonwealth Avenue. Swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please take a seat, state your name and address for the record.
Good morning. Charles Malillo, 1924 Commonwealth Avenue, Merrick, New York, 11566.
Okay, so you two are here for renewal.
I am.
Building department inspected it on March 14, 2024, found that all previously imposed conditions were being complied with. Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
I do not.
Any questions from the board?
Move that the hearing be closed. The matter be placed on the decision calendar. Mr. Melillo, you'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered.
Thank you.
Welcome. Good day. All in favor? Any opposed?
Next, we have case 39824 near Belrose. Rizal M. Mola. Renewal of grant to maintain two-family dwelling, also known as 9322 246th Street.
Okay. Which one? I know.
Morning.
Good morning.
Can you give your name,
Just a minute.
can you give your name and address for the record?
Sure. Rasal Maula, 93-22, 246th Street, Floral Park, New York, 11001.
So you do not live at the premises, sir?
I'm sorry?
You don't live in this house?
Yes, I do.
You do?
Yes.
Did I miss something when he gave his address? Did you just give a different address?
93-22, 246th Street, Floral Park. So I just,
Okay.
No.
Near Belrose, that's okay. It was
yeah.
Floral Park. You call it Floral Park, we call it Belrose. Okay, so the building department inspected the premises on March 24th of 2024, found that all conditions previously imposed by the board have been complied with. Do you have anything you'd like to add?
no, I don't.
Good move. Do I have any questions from the board?
Mr. Chairman, I would just move that the hearing be closed. The matter be placed on the decision calendar. You will receive a notification in the mail once the board makes its decision.
Okay, thank you.
Have a nice day.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Next, we have case 39924 North Belmore, Osvaldo and Luis Rodriguez. Variances, side yard, rear yard, construct second-story wood deck with stairs attached to dwelling, also known as 1900 Decatur Avenue.
Side yard.
James J. Stout, 2 Greg Lane, East Northport, New York, 11731. RA representing the Rodriguez family.
Osvaldo Rodriguez, 1900 Decatur Avenue, North Belmore, New York, 11710.
Good morning.
Morning. Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. We are here today for a proposed rear deck, and we are seeking a variance for the rear yard and the side yard to construct this deck. As you'll see the property, we have a large piece of property. It is a corner piece of property, therefore the rear yard area is actually rather small for the size of the property. I did some calculation, and actually we have 65% of this property is front yard. And then you take out of that the house and the side yard, so we have a very small area to work with here. So we are looking for a variance for the rear yard setback. Required is 25 foot. We're proposing 21.6. So we are asking for relief of 3.4 feet from the rear yard. Side yard, we are required to have 5 foot. To the deck, we will have 3.9 feet. So we're looking for relief of the side yard of 1.1 foot. As the stairs do come down from the deck, because this is a high ranch, so we'll be coming out of the upper level, out of the dining room area, the stairs will come down, and because the angle of the rear property line, at their terminus, it will be 0.8 feet from the side yard. So we would be looking for relief of 4.2 feet for the very bottom step.
Has any portion,
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
is any portion of that staircase as it gets lower part of a permitted encroachment?
No, unfortunately. I mean, we do need a stair to, obviously, we would like a
Access the
stair to come
deck.
down from the deck, but is that a permitted encroachment? I don't I don't believe so.
So the relief for the deck itself is 3.9 versus 5. The relief
Correct.
for the stairs only is 0.8.
Correct.
And then would your client accept a condition if the board were to consider granting this request, that that second-story deck never be enclosed?
Yes, he would be fine with that.
Okay,
Yes,
thank
not
you.
at all. There's no intention of enclosing it.
But sometimes you put the condition on because what if you sell your house one day and a deck encroaching like that into the various rear and side yards is one thing. If you enclose it and make it part of the house, it's a much different thing to the neighbors and to the character of the community. So that's why I asked.
Speaking of the
Understood.
neighbors, have you received any negative comments from any of your neighbors?
No, Mr. Rodriguez did speak to his neighbors on this. They were all aware of his intention for this proposed deck, and he did not receive any negative feedback.
Okay. Any other questions from the board?
Is that the only place that you could locate those stairs? Could it be on the north side?
Well,
Have
again,
you considered
because
that?
of the limited area of that backyard, we are really looking to try to maximize the usable space of the rear yard. So any other place, Mr. Rodriguez felt that it would be not as advantageous as having it in that location.
How tall is the deck? That's
move
quite
it north?
quite a flight of stairs if this is accurate.
Right, it is up one full level, so it's approximately 9 feet off the ground, the deck.
And it will exit, I guess, a bedroom on the second floor,
Dining room.
a dining room.
It comes out of the dining room, so their living space upstairs, so they'll be using it as a extra outdoor area for their living space.
You need a dumbwaiter to catch that. Thank you. I have no questions.
Any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. You will both receive a copy of the board's decision by mail once it's rendered. Thank you, have a nice day.
Second. All in favor? Any opposed? Here,
Thank you. Have a nice day.
these two.
Next, we have case 400-24, Elmont, Mark, and Micheline Rothman.
Mr.
Variance average front yard setback, construct addition attached to dwelling, also known as 1431 Harrison Street.
Good morning. Mark
James,
Rothman.
oh, sorry.
Good morning. Mark Rothman, 1431 Harrison Street, Elmont, New York, 11003.
Again, James J. Stout, 2 Greg Lane, East Northport, 11731. We are here this morning seeking a variance for a front yard setback for Mr. Rothman. We are looking to construct an addition to the front of the house to enlarge the existing kitchen. This house is a Cape-style house, and I'm sure you're all familiar with the layout of a Cape. This one has the kitchen in the front, so the existing kitchen is very small. So we're trying to get some more usable space for this kitchen, and really the only place without doing some major interior alteration to the first floor would have to move the existing bathroom and bedroom. So we're kind of forced to go out the front. There's no way to go to the side due to the driveway location. So that's why we're going out the front, seeking this variance. We're on a cul-de-sac, so the front property line is not square to the building. It's actually a curve. We have actually angled the design of the kitchen. We put an angle in there to try to soften this, the variance request, to try to cut it back as much as we could. So let me get into the particulars.
21.5 versus what?
26.1 versus 21.5.
So our required average front yard setback for this property would be 26.1 feet, and we are proposing a front yard setback of 21.5. Our requested relief is 4.6 feet. I did want to hand out, if I could, I've just highlighted here, since we are dealing with a cul-de-sac and we do have this curved front property line, you'll see this red line drawn through the site plan here through our proposed addition.
We'll accept that.
This red line indicates that setback lines. You'll see it's not the full addition that we're dealing with.
Right.
It's really taking a slice through this, so it's not 21.5 foot across this entire, that's our worst-case scenario. Actually, the encroachment here of this proposal, it really is only 41 square foot. That's the portion of this addition that will be encroaching on our front yard.
And that's your case,
And that is our case.
okay? Any questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
I would just move, Mr. Chairman, that the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. You'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered.
Second?
Thank
All
you,
in
folks.
favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Have a great day.
Next, we have case 40124 near Westbury, Harry Woodrow. Special exception to maintain accessory structure, shed exceeding horizontal maximum with lot area occupied variance. Also known as 2059 Salisbury Park Drive.
You better make this case.
Michael Scriccerini, representing Harry Woodrow, and we're requesting variance to maintain an existing vinyl shed in the rear yard, and also the variance for the light coverage on that.
So I'm looking here at the materials. Let me just see what your lot coverage is. It looks like, let's see, are you in a LPRD or, yeah, you're in an LPRD zone. Looks like you're allowed to have up to 30%, and with the, looks like you're allowed to have up to 30%, and with this shed, it puts you to 31%, so it's a very de minimis request, 1% over. The only other relief you need for the shed is the horizontal maximum. You're allowed to have the shed be up to 12 feet on each side. In this case, it looks like one side, two sides of the shed are 8 feet, but one side is 12 feet, 12.24 feet. So a quarter of a foot over. Again, very de minimis request. And other than that, it doesn't appear you need any relief for this request. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
I move that the hearing be closed, that the matter be placed on the decision calendar, and sir, you will receive a copy of the board's decision once we render it in the mail. Okay? Have a nice day.
Second? All in favor? Any opposed?
Next, we have case 40224 Inwood, Thomas and Rose Lynch. Variance lot area occupied, maintained shed, rehearing of case number 112-18, also known as 289 Wandsor Avenue.
Why was it that it's a rehearing?
Tina Pangallo, 549 Hempstead Turnpike, West Hempstead, New York, 11552. Good morning, Chairman, members of the board. I'm representing Thomas and Rose Lynch of 289 Wandsor Avenue in Inwood. The property is located on the south side of Wandsor Avenue, 373.20 feet west of Doherty Boulevard in Residence B. We're requesting a rehearing of a case number 112/18 to maintain a shed that exceeds the lot coverage allowed of 30% with a deck. The lot coverage provided is 32.2%. The shed has been there over 20 years. There's been no complaints from the neighbors.
Ms. Pangallo,
Yes.
tell us why we're having a rehearing.
Because what happened was they had to do a non-conforming. They had a lot of conditions they had to meet. They were having some difficulties with family illnesses. Then COVID hit, and all this got put aside. I know there's a lot of open permits that we're dealing with. especially the pool. And I was hoping to have the pool closed out before we came here, but the electric had to be repaired.
So what'd they do, forget to pick it up or something?
Yeah, it was
I just
approved
wanna
and
know
ready to
that.
be picked up,
So
and...
it was previously approved?
Yes, correct. And that's where we are right now, trying to close out all these permits so that if something happens to one or the other, they'll have everything cleared up for their house.
Anything else you'd like to add?
No.
If not, do I have any questions from the board? And in the alternative, do I have a motion?
Move that the hearing be closed, matter be placed on the decision calendar. Ms. Pangallo, you'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered.
Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Next, we have case 40324, Almont. Iris Elledge, as trustee of the Joseph Family Irrevocable Trust. Mother-daughter residence, second kitchen, also known as 529 Parkway Drive.
What?
Please raise your right hand. I swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God. Please take a seat and state your name and address for the record.
I'll go first. Good morning, members of the board. My name is Dean Katsubis. My address is 121 Newbridge Road, Hicksville, New York, 11801.
My name is Iris Elledge, 529 Parkway Drive, Elmont, New York, 11003.
It's mother-daughter. Go ahead. You go through the motions.
Okay. Good morning, members of the board. I'm here today with my clients, Ms. Elledge and her family from 529 Parkway Drive in Elmont. We are seeking a permit for a mother-daughter to have a second kitchen in the upstairs of this house. This house belongs to her parents, Mr. and Mrs.
Folks, it's actually quite difficult to hear, so if you have to have extended conversations or loud ones, can you please just go in the hallway so we can hear? Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Kitsuga.
So the house belongs to Miss Elledge's parents, who live on the downstairs. They've owned the house for many years. Recently, they took out a permit and built a second floor on the house for the purpose of making it a mother-daughter. And at this point now, we want to legalize the mother-daughter permit, which needs a variance. It does not need any other variances. Complies with all the side yards, the lot coverage, all the other, everything complies. It has parking for three cars. I reviewed the mother-daughter fact sheet with my client. They know that they can only have one front door, one doorbell. It has to have the appearance of a one-family house.
Is the second kitchen already in?
I believe so, my client.
It is, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep going, Mr. Kitsuga.
Okay. So on the first floor, it's Miss Elledge's parents. It's Darcelyn Joseph and Karen Joseph. They live on the first floor. They weren't able to attend today. On the second floor, it's Iris Elledge, her son Christopher Sean Elledge, the daughter Alexandra Gabriel Elledge, and the other daughter Marissa Danielle Elledge, who would live on the second floor.
Have you been to the house?
Yes, I've been to the house.
Did you go into the cellar?
I did not go into the cellar.
Did you draw these plans?
I did not draw these plans.
In the future, Mr. Katsubis, it's very helpful for us, if you're visiting a house, if you could also visit all the floors, but the cellar in particular, okay? Can you ask your client what's in the cellar, or she can just tell us herself?
So
Name and
it's-
address.
Oh, sorry, Iris Elledge, 529 Parkway Drive, Elmont, New York, 11003. It's pretty much just a storage area. There's different rooms. There is a laundry room and then just open space.
Is there a bathroom down there?
There is a bathroom down there. It came with the house when my parents bought it 50 years ago.
Who drew the plans?
It was done, the builder, I don't know who the name of I think the architect is Ray Donner, and then the builder was Vincent Diletto.
All right, the bathroom in the basement is not on the plans. Sure, we're gonna fix that.
Was that just added, the bathroom in the basement?
No, it's been there the entire
Okay,
time. My
she
parents
did.
bought it with the
It's a
bathroom.
date on the
Were these
plans.
plans drawn for this application, or were you able, did you just get a copy of them?
As far as I know, he drew them because we were building. He was the architect that came with the builder.
Well,
Well, we're gonna have to get these plans corrected at the very least. There are no elevations, which,
okay.
keep going, Mr. Casino.
No. Yes.
Okay, well, I mean, from what I see, I mean, this was given to me, I do see that these are BAR accepted plans. Yes, I agree that maybe there's a mistake on the plans with the basement and the bathroom, and I would say that that could be corrected if necessary. If there's any other questions,
Yes, for the record, as you just said, but I want to make sure it's on the record, the Board of Architectural Review examined the plans and the reversion plans and determined that this structure is in fact suitable to be used as a single family, as a immediate family, or mother-daughter residence, and is suitable for reversion back to a single-family residence at the cessation of that use.
Do you have off-street parking or on-street parking on the street that borders the property?
okay, so we're providing 3 spaces on the property, so off-street 3 spaces, and I'd also like to note that Parkway Drive, there is street parking available on Parkway Drive, and to help the parking situation, the opposite side of Parkway Drive is the Cross Island Parkway, so there's no houses there, so that's also available street parking on both sides of the street. So for me visiting the house, there was parking was never an issue there or concern. So with the parking we're providing and the available street parking, it shouldn't have any impact on neighbors for parking purposes.
There are no restrictions on parking?
There's no restrictions. It's open parking in the street,
Okay.
both sides.
Any other questions? That concludes your presentation.
That concludes my presentation. If there's any other questions.
Has that shed been removed?
I'm sorry?
Has the shed been removed?
No, it's still there. When you tell me to. I didn't know when I had to take it down.
Before we approve the
Okay.
case. No. No. Any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Just move that the hearing be closed, that the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Each of you who signed in will receive a copy of the board's decision by mail once it's rendered. Thank you, and have a nice day, folks.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Next, we have case 40424, Levittown, Jeffrey McGonigal. Variance front yard setback on Woodpecker Lane, construct a 2-story addition attached dwelling, also known as 38 Red Pole Lane.
We went to the Greek place last night.
You did?
Is Red Pole a bird?
William Mullen, 19 Jerusalem Avenue, Levittown, New York, 11756.
Red Pole, is that a bird, do you know?
Red Pole, in the Levittown section, I don't think that's the bird area.
Well, the woodpecker's over there, and
There's, I think it's a tree section of Levittown, but
no, look at your radius map.
it's a bird.
The radius map, it's snowbird, woodpecker.
Oh, snowbird, yes, there are birds.
So redpoll, I guess, is a bird.
Okay, yeah. I guess if you're going off that, yeah.
Your homework assignment is to find out.
Okay, will do. Hello, members of the board. My name is William J. Mullen. I'm here on behalf of Jeffrey McGonigal, who resides at 38 Redpole Lane in Levittown. I'm here today requesting the approval to construct a 2-story side addition to the existing main house. The addition would be 4 feet wide by 25 feet long on the east side of the main house. We are exceeding the allowable front yard setback of 25 feet and requesting a 23.4-foot front yard setback, which is 1.6 beyond the allowable. The addition will be used as a foyer, storage on the first floor, and to extend the existing bedroom on the second floor.
That's the only variance you see.
Yes.
And I believe that concludes your case, your presentation. That concludes your presentation, correct?
Yes.
Do I have any questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision counter. You'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered. Thank you.
Second, all in favor? Any opposed, any abstentions?
Thank you.
Welcome, have a good day.
Next, we have cases 406 of 24 through 407 24. Merrick, Timothy Drogue, variance, lot area occupied, maintain roof over open porch attached to dwelling, special exception to maintain accessory structure pergola exceeding horizontal maximum and with lot area occupied variance, also known as 11 Brompton Road.
Good morning, members of the board. My name is Ashley Lowe from Mark Anthony Architects. Our office is located at 1563 Belmore Avenue in Belmore, New York. I am here today representing for our client Timothy Droge, who is the owner and occupant of the subject property located at 11 Brompton Road in Merrick, New York. We are here today as a result of an application to maintain an existing front porch and maintain an existing pergola. The existing lot coverage, including both the porch and the existing pergola, is 34.34%, which exceeds the maximum allowed lot coverage of 25% in a Residence A zone. This requires relief of 9.34%. The porch added curb appeal, and Mr. Droge's
Hold
wife
on.
wanted-
Ms. Lowe, hold on. You threw me with that 9. I thought the allowable was 25 and you proposed 2804. That's what I got off your chart.
With the pergola, I
So the
think it's 34.
Oh, I'm sorry, existing is 28.
Yes.
I should have unfolded it. And you proposed 34.4, okay.
Yes, that's including both. So if it were just the porch, the number would be 30.34.
And then you have, and then you have the pergola.
Yes. Additionally, the existing pergola has a horizontal dimension of 12 feet, 7 1/4 inches, which exceeds the maximum allowed horizontal dimension of 12 feet. For this, we request relief of 7 1/4 inches. Lastly, we are requesting a variance to allow for the pergola to remain in the side yard of the dwelling. The pergola is in the rear of a portion of the home, and a rear dormer was added to the property to the right of the existing pergola. We are respectfully requesting that the pergola be allowed to remain where it currently is, as it allows the Droges to utilize the most of their backyard, as it is a relatively small space. That concludes our requests, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Ms. Lowe. On my copy, which is not the official one, I do not see the dimensions on the shed, and that for the pergola is relevant because the inspector's going to use that as when they inspect. I don't see them on here either. Dawn, can you
they're
write
not
them
there.
on here and initial and date it? So when the inspector comes out to check it, you know.
You'll know what he's looking to approve.
I did first session, but,
My hand is shaking. Give me this, sorry. No matter how many of these I do, my body just can't help it.
Lowe, so I just want to put on the record, Ms. Lowe has added to the official site plan in the file the dimensions of the pergola, and they appear to be 11.2 by 12.6. I thought you told us. I want to get it right, because if we consider this and end up approving 12.6 instead of 12.7 and 3/4, you're going to have a problem when the inspector comes out.
So our plan says 12.6, but when we were denied, it was for 12.7 and a quarter, so we weren't.
Don't you think that's well, where did they get the number from?
I'm not sure where the town got the number from.
Well,
but
if the
ours is
building department
12.6.
thinks it's 12.7 and 3/4,
7 and a quarter.
and you want to keep that pergola, that's really what we need to be considering. And it should match what's there, but
Yeah.
that's your problem. So I think you need to write what the building,
I wrote,
you wrote 12.6. So if we approve this, and the building inspector goes out and measures, and it's not 12.6, but it's larger, you're going to probably have an issue. Don't you think this should reflect what the building department measured it at? Which presumably is what it actually is? You want to correct, you want to close the case and deal with this? It's just important that this plan that we consider is what you need approved. Otherwise, you see the problem, right?
no, I understand.
All right, so no further questions at this time for me, Mr. Chairman.
Going to hold it for a more accurate plan.
To make sure that that may be accurate, we
Yeah.
don't know, but you correct that on the official. So Ms. Lowe, is that your case, Ms. Lowe?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Is that my problem? But we measured it, so that's why.
They can do it without this.
What's her name?
100%.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Well, it's your decision. If you want us to consider 12.6, we'll consider that, but if it were me, I would be wanting the board to consider approving what the building department has determined is there.
My only hesitance about it is that we went out and measured it. I have no idea where the building department got that from.
All right, well, again,
Okay.
we don't
That's my
need to,
hesitance.
we don't need to debate this here. You
Okay.
can figure out what you want before the board, as long as what's before the board on the materials is what you would like approved, and presumably, that would be consistent with what is there.
Got it.
So you figure that out.
Thank you.
Okay. That concludes your case?
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Ms. Lowe, you'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's ready. Thank you.
I'm recused on this case. Stephanie, let the record reflect the fact that I'm recused on this case.
Next, we have cases 408-24 through 409-24, Baldwin, Shinell Moore, and Chad Bain. Variances, side yards aggregate, maintain masonry platforms, steps, and planters all attached to dwelling, maintain pool equipment not permitted in the side yard, install 4-foot-high fence on top of 4-foot-high wall, totaling 8 feet high, and propose 6-foot-high fence varying and height up to 8 feet high due to adjacent grade, also known as 712 Lakeside Drive. Swear affirm to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. I do. Please take a seat. State your name and address for the record.
Andrew Bram, B-R-A-U-M, 1924 Belmore Avenue, Belmore, New York, 11710.
Morning, Mr. Brum.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Andrew Bram. I'm an engineer, and I'm representing Mr. and Mrs. Moore, who are unable to attend today. Here before you are two cases, number 408 and 409. 409 has to do with swimming pool equipment and a fence, and 408 has to do with a masonry platform, and I request that the two of them be heard together as
So
they
moved.
are. Thank you. You'll note that the swimming pool equipment was installed in the side yard where it's not permitted, so the contractor chose to put it there not according to the originally approved plans. It's 12'2" off of the south side. Mrs. Moore did speak to the neighbor about it, who did not have an issue but was unwilling to actually sign a letter of support.
Hold on, sir. It's 12.2 off.
Off the south property line.
Let me just find it here.
It's in the side yard. If I approach, I can show it to you.
Okay, why don't you do that, because I don't see anything with... You can go back. Let the record reflect that the applicant's representative shown where the AC units, or the pool equipment, I'm sorry, is located, which is also notably behind a planter, which I'm sure helps block the sound. Go ahead.
So, the way this all started, I was the original engineer of record to design a swimming pool, and the contractor came in and put a masonry platform in without the benefit of a permit. So we then opened up a new permit with the building department, which triggered the variances for the side yard and the side yard aggregate in the way the contractor built the platform. That also triggered some issues with the building department where a retaining wall was actually built off of the property line on the north side. Contractor came back and moved it, so it is wholly on the property line. The issue about the fence is maybe a little deceiving or difficult to comprehend. The adjacent grade on the north side property is actually lower than the Moore residence. So when they erect a fence, it has an appearance that it's higher in a certain portion that I have outlined on the drawing, which starts about where the garage is and extends to where a planter is at the end of the raised platform. So it is not that they're erecting an 8-foot, it actually varies from 6 feet to 8 feet along that line. And the sole reason for that is if you look at the photographs, you'll see that the planter itself is already raised. So when they put a fence on it, so it's for safety, that's how they get that. So the variances that we're seeking in the combination of the two applications are the swimming pool equipment in the side yard, the side yard as well as side yard aggregate for the raised platform, and a portion of the fence on the north side that will exceed the allowable 6 feet only due to the fact that the neighbor's adjacent grade is about 2 feet lower than theirs. So when you put the fence up on the Moore's side, it's going to look like this, only at 4 feet or 6 feet. Yet when you look at it from the neighbor's side down here, their grade is lower. They're going to look up and see a little bit of a little bit of a wall and a taller fence. So I consider that like a technical height variance.
It's a little more than that, but we understand it.
Yeah, so that concludes my presentation, and if the board has any questions, I'm ready to answer those.
What about the request to install a fence? Isn't there an install request?
So the install fence is, I'm going to call it as of right, as part of the swimming pool permit, but a portion of that fence will be higher than 6 feet from the adjacent grade.
So this is the part that is install 4-foot high fence on a 4-foot wall, totaling 8. But wait, if you're putting a 4-foot fence on top of the wall, has the building department determined that that's still not climbable?
So it will meet and exceed all of the requirements of the building department to be non-climbable, because, ma'am, from the opposite side, it's not climbable. It's going to be,
So the ledge is going to be on the inside?
there will be no ledge. Correct. Yes, the fence will be flush with the cap of the planter, so there's no place to put a foot and climb.
On the outside?
On the outside, correct.
So there'll be a ledge or a planter, that's all on the inside?
That's correct. And from a building department standpoint, we're not concerned from the inside, we're only concerned on the safety from the outside.
Right. Is there any portion of that that's forward of the dwelling? There's not, right?
No, that's not. That's going to terminate at the garage, which is, it's even further in from the garage, which is shown in the plot plan. I can approach and show it to you because I know it's small.
That's okay.
Okay.
This house doesn't back up to water, no?
It does not.
Is that your case, sir?
That is my case.
Are there any other questions from the board members?
I move the hearing be closed, the case placed on the decision calendar. When the board renders its decision, you will be notified.
Thank you.
Second? I know.
Next, we have case 410 of 24, Near Valley Stream. I, Devi Singh, also known as Indira Yadhar, Sani Devi Singh, mother-daughter residence, second kitchen, also known as 1532 Deborah Place.
I bought the whole family.
Brian Fiore, 208 North Wisconsin Avenue, Massapequa, New York. All right. Appearing on behalf of the Singh residents, we're requesting a mother-daughter use for a second kitchen on the second floor. There's been a recently completed second-story addition on the house. We have, I believe the kitchen is installed. Yes. We have on the first floor, Mr. and Mrs. Singh and their son, who are living in the primary existing main level. And on the second floor, we have his daughter, Nadia, and granddaughter, Selena, who are on the second floor. We have 3 off-street parking spaces provided. The family has 3 automobiles total. There was a separate application filed for their finished basement. And once we get through this process, we're going to close out, obviously, this permit and all the other additional permits that are open still. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Yeah, have you been to the house, sir?
Yes.
All right. What's in the basement?
It's a big open room with a laundry room, and we did file a permit to maintain the basement separately.
Is there a bathroom down there?
No, there's not.
You've been to the house?
I've measured the house and been there during construction.
Been in the basement?
Been in the basement, yes.
Thank you for doing that. Yeah, we're both, like, thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
Let's see, I'm looking at the plans for the basement. It looks like it's divided into a couple rooms at least.
There's a mechanical room, there's a laundry room, and then there's like a big closet area, and it's pretty much open on the whole each side of the stairs.
That's all true.
We got,
And the only way to get into the basement is from inside the house also.
this says open building permit, maintain existing finished basement. We got an open building permit in 2022 to maintain a finished basement.
So you said you had filed for a permit to maintain the basement separately. And you mentioned there's 2 rooms. Is there like, the permit's for a finished basement? I know you said there's no bathroom down there. What part of what's down there do you need to get approval as a finished basement?
We're maintaining it as a finished storage basement.
So because there's sheetrock on the walls and something on the floor other than concrete?
Correct, yeah. And there's a note on there, no, not for sleeping. It's not, it's finished storage. No bedrooms down there.
Right, let me just put this on the record. The Board of Architectural Review, hold on here, as you know, reviews all requests for whether or not a residence, immediate family residence, to determine whether or not the structure is suitable to be used in that fashion and to revert back to a single-family dwelling upon the cessation of that use. The Board of Architectural Review often makes recommendations to bring the house into a situation where it is suitable, and we bring this up so you have an opportunity to explain to us why such recommendations ought not be applicable. Maybe it's too expensive, maybe there are safety issues for children or pets or whatever. In the case of this application, the Board of Architectural Review found that it was suitable and restorable to use as a single-family residence, but did make a note that it was conditioned upon there be no illegal occupancy in the cellar, which obviously, as you know, includes sleeping and/or habitable space, which you've indicated is not your intention.
Correct.
Did you provide elevations?
Not on the mother-daughter plan. There's elevations on the construction plans, but I believe there's photos of the house submitted.
How many exterior doors?
2.
Okay.
There's the front door, and there's a back door off the existing kitchen.
No side doors?
No side doors.
All right, thank you.
No private entrances.
Any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Move that the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Mr. Fiore, you and your clients who have signed in will receive a copy of the board's decision by mail once it's rendered.
Second.
Thank you. Have a nice day, folks.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Any opposed, any abstentions?
Have a good day.
You too.
Next, we have case 41124, Merrick Olga Yorilmo. Special exception to maintain accessory structure, outdoor kitchen exceeding horizontal maximum, also known as 1479 Tadmore Street.
Morning, Peter Mora, 300 Garden City Plaza, Suite 300, Garden City, New York, attorney for the applicant.
Good morning.
How are you?
Doing well, thank you.
I actually have 10 consents from the neighbors I'd like to hand up.
We'll take those.
I have all 3 of the adjoining neighbors. Thank you, I stole your pen. I have all 3 of the adjoining neighbors and then 7 others from within the radius map. So good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board.
Morning.
I'm here representing Olga Jaramillo, the applicant. As I stated, we have 10 consents. The application is for an outdoor kitchen, accessory structure. It's 3 feet longer than it's supposed to be, not visible by any of the neighbors. There is a 3-foot return on it, and that's really you have 12 feet of counter space, and there's that 3-foot return that's making it 15 feet. The application complies in all other respects. Previously, there was a side yard variance, but that part of the kitchen was eliminated and moved, and so now there are no other variances whatsoever other than that length of the kitchen.
And that's your case?
That's basically my case, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Any questions from the board? If not, Do I have a motion?
Move that the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Mr. Mora, you'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you, have a nice
Thank
day.
you very much. Have a good day.
We're going to call second call before we take a break, because it is not yet 11 o'clock.
Case 40524 near Valley Stream, Monday, Ugamudia. Variance lot area occupied, rear yard, construct one-story addition with roof deck above and two-story addition, both attached dwelling, also known as 948 Askin Street. Mr. Chairman, there is a defective notice on this application.
All right, so you folks,
have a
oh,
file.
sorry, go ahead,
Just a
get
minute.
sworn in. Are they, well, they're going to get adjournment. All right, so you folks, the notice was defective.
No, okay.
The notice was defective. You know, when do you want a new date? What dates do we have, Patrick?
The soonest we can get them on is July 10th at 11 o'clock.
And that'll give them
the
a-
mailing,
That's
the mailing
sufficient.
window begins tomorrow. So 6/13 through 6/20.
Okay, go ahead, what'd you have to say, sir?
I want to say that I sent in the notification on the 31st. I seem to have marked my calendar erroneously, and I
Okay.
sent them a little bit late. We got some comments back.
Okay.
All of that is fine.
It's not a problem.
How long do you think you'll need to correct the defective mailing?
Well, we can do the mailing today.
Right away.
However, my client, Mr. and Mrs. Ogbemudia, we're building a new house, and while during the construction, we decided to extend the construction a little bit more in a way that results in a variance, and that's why we're here. Now, to get the construction done, my client, Mr. and Mrs. Ogbemudia, have received a construction loan from a bank. We filed the application for a variance back in October, and it took a very long time for the application to get processed in.
Right, listen, wait, hold on. I appreciate the difficulties. The notice requirement, we can't really control. We can put you on as soon as we can have it. I think he indicated July 10th. I apologize if that creates difficulty, but our hands are tied. If we could just say hear it anyway, we would be happy to do it.
We can get consent letters from all the
Sir,
neighbors surrounding us.
maybe you didn't get the message. The defective notice
I
makes this a jurisdictionally defective proceeding.
Yes.
The bank is crying, the landlady is crying, everybody's crying.
No, okay, I'll say. Yeah.
All right.
All right, so after consulting with counsel, I stand corrected. It is not jurisdictionally defective. We're going to hear the case.
You're going to hear
Okay.
the case.
We understand there's a hardship.
There's a hardship here.
Thank you so much.
Well, just give us a second. Give us a second to get our file.
Lot area, rear yard.
Probably wasn't brought up because defective notice. Dawn, it probably wasn't brought up because of defective
Defective
notice.
Construct one-story addition with roof deck. So they're constructing one-story addition with a roof deck above. It's not a heavy lift. This guy's screwed up. All right, so we're going to get the file up, so we're going to take a 5-minute to 10-minute adjournment.
Thank you so
Okay?
much. You look very nice.
See what happens, when people retire. This is what they do. They go to...
law enforcement?
Yes, sir.
What,
New York Corrections. New York City Corrections.
correction?
Department of Corrections.
New York State Correction. So you work out of one of the local jails?
Rikers Island.
Oh, boy.
It's not as bad as they make it. I've spent some time there.
I hope it's just visiting clients.
No. Only kidding.
I bet you could tell a lot of stories. We don't want to hear that. How long you been there?
21 years.
I hope they can do something about it to make it better for everybody.
I hope so too, sir.
When are we working on it?
Yeah, they're working on this seriously.
Government takes a long time.
Yes.
Except the New York kids are helping you out.
I was already sweating just now. It's too much money, you know. Like every second is extra money.
Oh, up to 1 Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
my mother lives, I went to Howell Road.
Ah.
I lived, my mother lived like South Park Avenue on the other side of Howell Road.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
She's still there now?
Come to visit,
So
come for
when
a visit.
when I move to my house, are you right? Where do you go? Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
There's some huge houses
Yeah,
there.
50, yeah, 52.
I don't know how you have approved all those houses, but they're huge. Yeah, very nice. Very, very convenient, right off the highway.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, that was why we couldn't, it was just easier. Like if you are going both ways, it's easier than,
Going to the city.
yeah.
Another road, everything, the buses.
Yeah.
The only thing is the taxes.
High taxes.
Yeah. All right, so let's see what we want to be over here.
Well, we're done. How's your?
Yeah, how do you go? You go to that, how do you go by him? It's very moody now. This is what we are talking about, moody. The moody near how you were. So we have to figure that one out too. So the problem is that whatever you are doing inside your building is your business.
Wait, how about the basement one? Is it?
The what? The basement?
Yeah, you have it.
Basement is not a problem. Grade is not an issue. Basement is not the issue at all.
Yeah, how about the egress?
They're not, it's not of their concern. That's the building.
It's already done.
This is just
It's
a
your
zoning.
extension.
You know the egress, they close it off.
Close it up, but they open it on the sides. Yeah.
Right now, they do the gas. They put the gas on the stairways.
The gas?
The national grid.
Yeah.
They had on the stairways, so they went this morning to fix it.
Yeah.
I believe one went there too. Yeah, they come and see.
Yeah.
They didn't bring our photo.
Say what?
They didn't bring the photo.
Quarter?
The
Well,
photo.
they bring it, yeah, they bring it in.
When you wrote the name just now, that was only going to go and get them. I'm telling you.
Okay. So notwithstanding your failure to comply with the board rules, because of the hardship to your client, we're going to hear the case today. However, I would admonish you not to make this a habit in the future.
Okay?
Understood?
Thank you, and I promise I will not do that.
Okay. All right, call the case, please.
Okay. Next up, we have cases 40524 near Valley Stream, Monday, Obemudaya. Variances, lot area occupied, rear yard, construct one-story addition with roof deck above and two-story addition, both attached to dwelling, also known as 948 Ascan Street. Please stand up.
North Barry Drive South, huh? Oh.
My name is Dov Hadas, architect, 600 Shore Road, Long Beach, New York.
My name is Monte Bemundia, 948 Ascon Street, Valley Stream, New York.
Yeah, put your name and address.
My name is Joy Bamundia, 948 Ascan Street, Valley Stream, New York.
Thank you.
Okay.
So to continue where we were interrupted, we have received a permit, and we are actually in the middle of construction of a new house at 948 Ascan. The property is 64.9 feet at the frontage by 100 feet deep. The rear yard is actually not as square. The rear yard is skewed towards that property. It allows us actually to get a reduction in the rear yard setback for this particular property, as per the town rules that any property that is less than 100 feet deep, we can have a reduction in the depth of the front yard, so that the
Wait,
front
say that
yard-
again, say that again.
Any
We have a lot of,
property-
hold on,
any-
there's a lot of property that comes before us that's less than 100 feet deep. So what did you say the rule was?
You are entitled to a reduction in the rear yard setback by, I forget exactly the number, but in our particular case, we come down to 22.5 feet as the rear yard setback rather than the 25 feet that is commonly required
Okay,
on
and
a
what do you
two-story
propose?
addition.
22.5.
And, no, that's what he says is his requirement. What do you propose?
We're proposing actually 15 feet, we're proposing an addition of 300 square feet total.
But what's the encroachment?
Well, we have a separation between a two-story and a one-story addition. The
Right.
overall area, as I said, is 300 square feet. The second floor addition is 150 square feet.
Right, what I
Where
just want to know,
the one-
if you're required 22.5,
What do you provide?
what do you propose you provide instead of that number?
I'm getting to that. I'm sorry I took so long. But for the one-story addition, we have at least 15 feet and more because of the skewedness of the property. So we have at the lowest portion we have 15 feet.
Okay.
On the second story addition, we have an encroachment that is starting with 5 foot 10 inches.
No, I want to know, rather than knowing what the encroachment is, on
What's
the
the
second
rear yard?
story, instead
the
of
setback?
well, hold on. Instead of maintaining 22.5, at the closest point to the rear yard property line,
All right.
what is the rear yard setback you wish to maintain?
That number is 16 feet, 7 3/4.
Okay.
And at the widest margin, it's 20 feet, 1 1/4 inch.
So the second story is slightly inset from the first story.
It's actually, if you look at the site plan, because of the skewedness of the rear yard, there is some deviation in there. It's not square,
But
so
at the
it's
shortest
difficult to.
point, at the closest point to the rear property line, the first story maintains a 15-foot setback.
Yes,
At the closest point to the rear property line, the second story maintains 16.7.
correct.
Okay. Where again, you're telling us that your requirement due to the depth of the property is 22.5.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
And in addition to that, you need lot area
Lot area.
occupied relief. And that we deal with in percentages. So just
Yes.
tell us what is it a residence B zone?
It's actually Residence A,
Okay, which is at 25, I think?
which is 25%.
Okay, tell us what you provide.
We have providing altogether, the lot coverage is going to be 31.9%.
And without this addition, what was it already approved at?
Without that addition, it was 27%.
So did you have a variance already?
We did not have a variance. It somehow, it went in as a Residence B.
Okay.
It was only discovered when we went to the zoning board that it was, actually, we were in Residence A. So,
Did that change any of your other, when you got it, when you received the permit to build it as of right, the analysis by the building department was done under the Residence B framework. Now that it was discovered it's a Residence A, did any of the other numbers turn out to need a variance?
well,
In other words, side yards, rear?
no. We
All
are-
that's still good even though it's a Res A?
The front yard is way than, it's 28 feet. The side yards are very generous. They're 8'3" on one side and,
Okay.
Okay.
So the only two variances you need to add this small addition to the rear of the property are this lot area occupied from 25% to 31.9, and the
Yes.
rear yard, which is required at 22.5, and at the closest point, you're proposing it at 15 feet. Part of that discrepancy does deal with the shape of the property and the addition. Is that correct?
it is correct. I just want to note that the 15 feet is from the skewed portion of the property.
Right, the
So
closest.
We are,
It's the closest point.
No,
And at other places, it is greater than 15
the other
feet.
point is 16.
Right?
That-
Yeah, the other
And
point is
that,
16.7.
that concludes your case, does it not?
That is the case, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the board?
Mr. Chairman, I would just move that the hearing be closed, that the matter be placed on the decision calendar. You'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered. I want to let you know, we decide some percentage of the cases this evening. Others, we put on reserve to look at more materials, to do inspections, whatever it is.
Yes.
Since you folks are under hardship and you have a real time constraint, you can call tomorrow to find out whether or not your case was decided. I don't know now because we have to deliberate.
Thank
But
you.
you could call Christina tomorrow and find out if your case was
Thank you.
decided.
Do I have a
Okay?
second on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Next, we have the 11 a.m.
Jesus
adjournment.
Christ.
Case 20324 near
You're driving
Westbury.
nuts.
Denise and Victor Kazim. Variance, height, maintain two-story addition attached to dwelling, also known as 832 Pleasant Avenue.
Denise Cosme, 832 Pleasant Avenue, Westbury, New York, 11590.
Victor Cosme, 832 Pleasant Avenue, Westbury, New York, 11590. Good morning. Yes, we are. We have some letters of support from our neighbors.
Okay. Can you tell us what the standard is and what you're requesting?
The standard, according to what I understand, the standard is 30 feet high. We're 31 foot according to when the survey was conducted. News to us, we had no idea that we were higher than it should be. We passed all our permits and we had no idea until we got the letter in the mail.
When was the house built?
2021.
Okay, and...
April 2021.
Okay, let me just ask you, can you remind me why the case wasn't heard a couple months ago? Was there a reason we didn't hear it?
We weren't aware of the mailings, and when we called, they asked us if we have the mailings, and we had no idea.
All right, you just didn't get the mailing out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
We
Sometimes
didn't
that
know
note
we
on,
had to do a mailing.
sometimes that note on my calendar means other things, so it's important that we know. So, was your original permit one as of right? You didn't have to come here? You complied otherwise?
Right.
How did you come to discover the house was too high?
When they did the survey, the final survey.
Thank you. We're going to accept all these letters and evidence.
Okay.
Is there a-
Thank you.
You said you filed a building permit to construct a second story.
It was the whole, we remodeled the whole entire house.
It was more than 50.
With a permit.
Right, absolutely.
And as of right permit?
And what happened when you confronted your contractor and said, hey, look, they're not gonna give me the paperwork in the building department, I'm over height? What was his reaction?
His reaction said, I'm sorry, my guys built it the way it was, that, whatever was on the plans. But I think, in my opinion, and what I saw, was because the foundation was left original. And I don't think when the framing went on, I don't think they took into consideration the fact that how high the foundation was. That's my own analogy, not proven by facts or anything
Well,
like
since
that.
we don't have the builder here, your analogy is
Right.
better
So-
than mine.
So, the plans I have here show it at 31, as you indicated. Is there, so I guess these were redone after you guys discovered?
Right, the maintenance was completed after the fact.
How long ago was the house completed?
April 2021.
Yeah, this date is November 2021.
3 years to get here.
I'm sorry, the survey was not completed until probably August of that same year.
All right, but either way, it's
Right.
3
And
years.
Kind of academic.
then I followed the instructions by Dawn and everything,
Okay.
that I had to get all the maintenance plans and everything else.
Right. Yeah. It's done. Any questions from the board?
No, sir.
No.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
You're not the board. Not yet, maybe next year.
No, you're just bored. We are the board.
I'm nervous.
Not, do I have a motion?
Move that the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. You'll both be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you very
folks.
much.
Have a nice day.
Have a great day.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that concludes the morning calendar. We're going to take a 1-minute break and then do decisions. 30 seconds. Have a nice day. What do we have on this afternoon? Thank God.
I don't know how it's my best friend.
Thank God.
It's my best friend. Do you wonder why? I do. I wonder.
I speak the truth. What can I say?
You're
Greek-
not always a joy to be
Greek,
around.
Greek food for lunch.
Yeah, good.
I'm never a joy.
You're always a joy, Mr. Regano.
It's not what my wife says. It's not what my wife says. She tells me I'm going to hell. All right, 30 seconds are up. Okay? First case, 392 of 2024 Oceanside, LA 111 Corp., DBA La Palma 3. Do I have any questions from the board or any discussion? If not, do I have a motion?
I move case 392 of 24 Oceanside, located at 410 Merrick Road, be approved as requested with the normal sign
Counter pieces.
conditions.
Okay.
Second.
Five years.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 393 of 2024 near Lawrence, Taco Bell of America, Inc., 325 Rockaway Turnpike. Any discussion from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move case 393 of 2024 and near Lawrence, as you previously described it, affecting the property 324 Rockaway Turnpike, be approved as requested, 5 years, same conditions.
And that's the abbreviated version. Okay,
Second.
any second, any question?
Or abbreviated too much. Which do you want?
No,
Abbreviated or
that was said facetiously.
I know.
Okay, case 394 of 2024, 1229 Broadway Associates LLC, 2029 Broadway in Hewlett. Do I have any discussion? If not, do I have a motion?
I move that case 394, 2024, 1229 Broadway Associates LLC at 1229 Broadway in Hewlett be granted for 5 years with the same previously imposed conditions.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Case 395 of 2024 Hewlett, 301 Mill Road Co. Address 301 Mill Road in Hewlett. Do I have any discussion? If not, do I have a motion?
I move case 395 of 24, location of property 301 Mill Road, Hewlett, be granted as requested, 5 years, all previous conditions.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? All right, next case. Reuben, 396 of 2024, Lido Beach, Reuben and Jane Leibowitz, 78 Prescott Street in Lido Beach. Any discussion from any of the board members? If not, do I have a motion?
I make a motion that case 396, Reuben and Jane Leibowitz, renewal of a grant to maintain pool with spa and pool equipment not permitted in front yard, and 6-foot-high wood fence, stone fence, larger than pool installation area be granted with normal conditions, 5-year renewal for grant.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right. Next case, 397 of 2024, Merrick, Charles and Angelo Melillo, 1924 Commonwealth Avenue in Merrick. Do I have any discussion from the board members? If not, do I have a motion?
I make a motion that we move 39724 Merrick, Charles, and Angela Melillo, renewal of grant to maintain two-family dwelling and detached garage at,
Same condition.
right, temporary.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Next case, 398 of, this is renewal day.
Yeah.
39 and sign day, 398 of 2024 near Belrose, Rasal M. Maula. That's a renewal for two-family. Do I have any discussion from the board members? If not, do I have a motion?
I move case 398 of 24 near Belrose, located at 93-22, 246th Street, be approved as requested with the same two-family conditions.
Second, temporary.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, next case, a real case, 399 of 2024, North Belmore, Osvaldo and Luisa Rodriguez. Do I have any, that 1900 Decatur Avenue in North Belmore, do I have any discussion?
Yes, I would
I knew
just
you
want to
would. Yeah.
mention that the applicant agreed, since it is a fairly large deck, it's a relatively de minimis encroachment, but the applicant agreed that if we were to grant the case, that he would agree to a condition that it not ever be enclosed. And with that, I would then make a motion, Mr. Chairman, case 399, 2024 in Belmar, as you described it, be approved as requested.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Case 400 of 24, Elmont, Mark and Mr. Lean Rothman. This is a construct, an addition to a dwelling. Do I have any discussion? If not, do I have a motion?
I move that case 400, 2024, Mark and Mr. Lean Rothman at 1431 Harrison Street in Elmont be granted as requested.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Case 401 of 2024 near Westbury, Harry Woodrow. Property address is 2059 Salisbury Park Drive. Gee, I was up there yesterday. Any discussion from any of the board members?
I move the case 401 of 2024, location of property 2059 Salisbury Park Drive, near Westbury, be granted as requested.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Case 402 of 24, Thomas and Rose Lynch, property addresses 289 Wanzer Avenue in Inwood. Do I have any discussion? This is a case that was previously approved, and they have some open permits.
What about the pool being open? Is it
That's
fenced
going to
in?
be closed out. That's part of it.
You make a good point. You meant, did we confirm that it is in fact properly enclosed?
Yes.
I didn't, I dropped the ball on that.
I know that. And so did Pellegrini. That's his shtick.
We dropped 2
All
balls.
right. In any event,
You may have
two
dropped
balls.
2 balls. I would never drop 2 balls.
Okay. Can I have some serious discussion or a motion?
I have a motion, index number 402, Thomas and Rose Lynch, variance for lot occupied, maintained shed, and be granted with conditions.
Close all the open permits.
Close all open permits.
Okay, second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstentions? Case 403 in Elmont. Iris Elledge as trustee of the Joseph Family Irrevocable Trust. Any discussion?
We have to hold
Yeah, we're
that,
holding that.
Yeah.
waiting for new
That's
plans
right.
that
New
reflect the
plans
bathrooms
reflect
in
the
the basement.
Right, right.
And the elevation.
Case 404 of 2024, Jeffrey McGonigal, 38 Red Pole Lane in Levittown. I'm sure I can. Irish names befuddle me, what can I tell you? Look, I grew up amongst all Italians, so we didn't have any Irish people in the neighborhood. Go right ahead. Why don't you make a motion on this case, because nobody else wants to deal with the house on Woodpecker Lane.
Oh, I'm not going to go there after dropping 2 balls. I move that case 404 of 2024 be approved as requested.
Well done.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, case 40524,
Okay.
Near Valley Stream, Monday Agbemudia. That case was not adjourned, it was actually heard. So do we have any discussion? If not, do we have a motion?
Make a motion on 40524 North Valley Stream. Monday up there, variance, lot area occupied, rear yard, construct, 1-story addition with roof, deck above, and 2-story additions with attached dwelling at 75 North Barry Drive South. Okay?
Okay.
Yes.
Does
Granted
anybody,
request.
does anybody want to have a, why don't we make it temporary? Only kidding. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. That's one hold. Cases 406 and 407.
So, I spoke to Ms. Lowe,
Yeah, right.
in the back.
Yeah, right.
She's going to call the office this afternoon, so.
We're going to hold it.
Hold to the afternoon.
We'll hold it till the PM section. Okay. Cases 408 and 409 of 2024, I was recused on those cases.
What do you call it?
Oh, okay.
So
The one that we just put on reserve for the afternoon,
467.
467.
Okay.
Do you need a motion to take it off reserve or not? No, we'll just decide it on reserve.
Okay.
So it was a difference between,
12.6 and 12.7 and a quarter.
so somebody was writing 12.7
6.
and a quarter.
The building
which is
department.
inches, and 12.6 is just 12.6 feet.
Got it. So it's
So
12.6.
it's
feet.
exact,
Same.
yeah,
I understand.
same.
Okay, so I'll make the motion.
12.72.
I understand. So that was,
Cases 406 and 407.
okay, 406, 407, Timothy Droge. The property's at 11 Brompton Road in Merrick. Upon clarification by the applicant's representative, Ashley Lowe, that the measurement by the building department of 12.7 and a quarter inches, or 12.7 and a quarter feet versus Ms. Lowe and her group's measurement of 12.6 feet. It's just a difference in fractions and decimals. So I move now that it be approved at both 12.7¼ feet and 12.6 feet.
No, 12.
Yeah, they're both the
Seven
same,
and
it's
a
just a
quarter
difference.
inches.
Well, the 12 is not
You
an
just
inch.
said 7 and a
No,
quarter.
but
It's the same
it's
measure.
not 12 and
Okay, do
7
we have a
1/4
second?
inches.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Cases 408 and 409 of 2024, I am recused on that case.
Inches means 12 inches.
Baldwin, Shinell Moore, and Chad Bain.
That's a foot, it's just a fractional expression.
Mr. Chairman, we all heard this case with you not being here.
Then I have to say 12
Mrs. D'Amato
feet,
chaired the case.
7
I
and a
see
quarter inches.
nothing wrong with this case, and I would make a motion that the case be granted and the necessary fencing around the pool be also addressed. So that's my motion to grant this case.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That was 408, 409. 410 of 2024, Devi Singh, a.k.a. Indira Petahar. Sani Devi Singh, mother-daughter residence. Do I have any questions from the board or any discussion? If not, do I have a motion?
I move case 410 of 24, location of property 1532 Deborah Place, near Valley Stream, be granted as requested with all mother-daughter conditions.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Case 411 of 2024, Merrick Olga Jaramillo, special exception to maintain an outdoor kitchen. That was 1479 Tadmore Street. Do I have any discussion? If not, do I have a motion?
I make a motion for index number 411 of 24, Merrick Olga Jaramella, special exemption to maintain accessory structure exceeding horizontal maximum, be granted as requested with conditions.
Second,
I second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, last case for the morning, case 203 of 2024, Denise and Victor Cosme. Do I have any discussion? If not, do I have a motion?
Yeah, I make a motion for 20324 in Westbury, Denise and Victor Cosme, variance height, maintain two-story.
Hold on a second.
What is the board,
The height variance, 30 feet versus 31.
So we want-
It's already been constructed.
So we want to have council write out a draft
A
grant
draft grant.
explaining why this is
Why
different
this is
from any
different.
future, so.
Okay?
So
need a draft
do you
So we're
need a
gonna-
motion for the draft or just
No.
advisor?
Yeah.
No,
So we're going to,
draft
and then
grant.
you'll make the motion to adopt it once we have a decision that we
Yeah,
think
so we're going to hold
actually.
it temporarily until the grant.
Because we don't want other people to
We
go,
don't want other
I
people
want it,
to
I
come
want
in
it, I
and
want
say,
it, I
yeah,
want it.
yeah.
Okay, all right,
Got to distinguish
I
it.
make a
all right?
motion for draft decision.
Well, we-
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
Second. But we don't need a motion for that, but, okay. So,
Onward and up.
onward and upward, as Mrs. D'Amato would like to say many times. Anything on page 1 of the reserve calendar?
Page 1, I have no further updates.
Okay. How about page 2?
Page 2, the applicant reached out to us on case 240 through 242. To get elevation plans, they would have to go back to their architect to have them drawn. So I'm wondering if the board, it's a mother-daughter, and, wait, I'm sorry.
Mother, daughter, lot area, rear yard, maintain.
Yes. So I did tell them yesterday that the board still wanted elevation plans. I just want to confirm
Wait, I'm
that
sorry, which, oh,
240 to 242.
Yep.
I
Yep.
just want to confirm that the board does in fact still want those elevations.
I
wait,
do.
what did you just tell about it?
I do.
No, the applicant reached out again. They provided the reversion plans. They followed up again about the elevation plans, which we have told them for, since May, that they needed. You told them at the hearing, actually.
It's already done, right, this place? Yeah, they
I
already.
believe so.
No
In other
harm.
words,
It's a mother-daughter, though.
but they're not waiting to do anything.
No, no harm, no foul.
Right.
Hold it.
Okay, so we
Hold it
What was
until
the
they
reason
do
they
it.
wanted asked, is they expect,
They literally provided
see them on the floor plans, but it's much easier to see them on the elevations.
Well, that's to make sure that there are.
And the height, it gives me the height.
Correct.
The main thing is the stairs, the doors, the stairs, and the height.
Correct, and you can only get that with elevations, the exterior of the dwelling.
Right.
That's gonna cost them a lot.
No, if you're,
Ask for the elevations confirmed.
and make sure the office always does it.
Okay, cases 280, 281, can somebody?
I'm in favor of, I know you guys don't want to hear it, I'm in favor of us creating our own carve-outy thing that is a temporary, that is a two-family that ends at when the life of the disabled person ends, so that while his parents are alive, they can live there. When they are no longer here, he can have an aide or a rental there. I presume aide, we could even limit it that way, just so long as he gets that two-family until he is deceased.
There was some discussion about an age limitation on the person who
No,
lives.
that's if you give a senior residence. But that doesn't benefit him because when his parents pass away, if he's not 62. So I don't see why we can't just make a substantively create a carve-out or a thing that is a conditional, temporary, two-family thing. I know two-family is supposed to not be temporary.
So, I'm gonna try and figure something out to accomplish, I think what the board wants to
Yeah,
accomplish.
you know what we want to accomplish.
Correct, I do, but it's just a matter of
How,
to get it
where we
done.
put it, what hole we put it in.
Correct.
So we're going to hold it.
But your goal is still to do a two-family?
Well, it's.
Not forever.
A two-family?
Well, but but there's another issue probably. Wait, he gets public funding. Can he have a house in his name? Because when they die, one of the people who live there has to be, the two people, both groups have to be, so if his parents, no.
That's estate planning for them to deal with.
No, but what I'm saying is, the mother-daughter wouldn't work, because presumably, if they pass away, the other unit would be occupied by an aide. Now, both people aren't on the ownership, right? Aren't accurate, and
A life, like we had one today that was a trust.
yeah,
So they can, do what they want for property.
I agree with, I think she's probably right when she is concerned, or was told, that the mother-daughter idea isn't going to generate the kind of funding that they're trying to get.
Well,
But
not necessarily the case. I went through all of the emails that were provided by the applicant,
Mhm.
and that's why I reached out to two folks that worked for the state, because somebody, I believe in Belmore, I'd have to double check, but somebody in Belmore was getting funding, and the setup was a mother-daughter.
But again, we're back to the other same problem, so it doesn't matter. Let's not belabor it.
I asked her if she could use a senior residence or a mother-daughter, and she said, no, the state won't accept that.
But it won't work anyway. The attributes don't fit the situation.
Unfortunately, I didn't get anywhere.
But when
with
they
the
die, it goes away then.
state. But how old is it? I believe he's in his 20s.
28.
Yeah, I mean, we just need to
We don't know
grant
the
the
limit is liable.
we just need to, no, we just need to grant the attributes we want to grant without putting them into a category.
Yeah.
Mr. Hines?
Who's going to read the letter?
He didn't submit a letter.
Can you read what was submitted?
He just said letters in support.
Report.
I was there, that we wanted to, the shed is 16 feet 3 inches on a horizontal.
Okay.
It's 10 feet 3 inches on the
Height.
the narrowest side. The height is 11 feet. He's got 8 inches. He said on his plot plan he was gonna do it 3 feet. It's
Yeah, he said
not.
he's willing to
And then
move
he's
it.
gonna move it. He's got 8 inches. It is on one side and 6 inches on the other side. I spoke to the man. I said, I understand why your neighbors are all crazy. It's in plywood that's been exposed to the elements for 2 years, he said.
Well, that wasn't his fault. He had a stop work order.
He did have a stop work order. I don't know what took him 2 years to get here.
You don't want that question answered. Right, Joe?
No, I don't. It's just,
So what do you recommend?
he said that he was going to move it as soon as he gets permission to move it. He wants to move it now 2 feet. I don't know why. I said, you know what? I said, submit a letter to the board expressing what you wanted to do.
So what do you recommend? We have a move it 3 and 3?
Just
4 and
to-
4?
Yeah.
Arborvitae's behind it, and that was something that was suggested to at least shield the neighbors from seeing it.
One of the neighbors has that growing, but whatever.
He's, Patrick, let me, this is his to me.
What are we looking at?
The
Picture
text
or
message that he allegedly sent to this office explaining what he wanted to do.
What does he want to do? Okay, but let's just find out what he wants to do and do it.
I do not receive this.
All right, but,
He didn't call me.
Okay, I understand.
okay, without reading that into the record, what does he want to do? And just, what do you recommend we do? Set it back 3 and 3 and make him put in screening
Di-
hedges?
This is what he wrote, allegedly to you.
Joe, can't you just take what's in
No,
there
I don't wanna-
subsequently? And we just, that's what our decision is. If that's exactly.
365.
Make the motion.
I'll raise you one.
Okay, so as it relates to cases 368, 369, in Belmar, Andre Hines, property is located at 2618 Rachel Street. I move that we grant in part and deny in part his variances. We grant the shed in the size it is, provided he sets it back from the rear and side yard by 4 feet, the side yard that is closest to the neighbor, that he plant shrubbery as a barrier on the the side and rear yard that affect the neighbors who were here at the hearing, and that shrubbery be allowed to grow and up to at least 12 feet, or up to 12 feet, but that he ensure that it grows so that it provides a complete barrier to the shed, which has a height of 11, and that he side the shed in its entirety, and that he complete these projects, at least the planting, the planting, and the siding within a 60-day period from the date this decision is issued.
That he maintains the shrubbery continuously.
Correct. And all the other, and that he maintain the shed always in good order and all that looks right. Second.
I took these pictures. What is this on the roof? I don't remember that.
AC or something?
No.
No, it looks like.
It's like a huge, look at the size. That's the roof.
Looks like he's gonna put some sort of a deck up there.
Oh, that's meditation.
Meditation station.
Religious use.
This was the one that had the 2 staircases to the basement and the blah, 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 blah. Yeah, what is that? I don't remember that.
When did you take this photo?
Last night.
So what if we hold it and wait a week and go out there and see if he's built more on that thing, like walls? We had one in, you remember the case on Bath in Lido? Right before they came in, they wanted to put in the elevator thing, the Articus.
Okay, yeah.
So they had something like this about a week before. I saw it and neighbors took pictures. And then they must have seen the neighbors taking pictures because when they came in and it was brought up, they go, oh no, that was just framing we were putting up. They pretended they weren't actually building. So,
If I could just, if you want to send me that picture, I can also
Okay.
Is this
run
one-
it by
I have a few-
one of the guys upstairs to see what
Okay.
they think it is.
is this
Okay,
one
but-
under stop work order right now?
No, it's not. My understanding, it
There
came,
was nobody there when I
Kim.
looked at it.
it came in front of us for administrative review. Because the basement in front of us
I
is vacant.
remember. Now we're going to see more there.
That's not good enough. We're gonna hold it. Unless you have some.
My thoughts about this was that
ahead.
there are 10 dumps. Unfortunately, the
This
applicant,
is-
yeah, unfortunately, this application for Dunkin' Donuts, which is a standalone project, the landlord, when I asked Mr. Benesso, the landlord said, well, throw in this stuff in the back, these dumpsters and cargo containers.
Oh, yeah, that, yeah.
They really don't have anything to do with the Dunkin' Donuts. And
No, but what we can't do is, the applicant is actually the landowner, right?
Yes.
Not the Dunkin' Donuts people.
Correct.
So I don't want this to serve to legalize those, because that's why they're in here. So at the very least, we ought not grant those, right?
Great. That's
I don't
where-
want to grant those, right.
That's where I was going.
Oh, because John was like, they can't control it, but, yeah.
Well, no, well,
If the case gets, if that portion of the case,
case is denied.
If-
Of course,
Theoretically, they're supposed to move it, but
unfortunately,
it's not going to
when
happen
someone comes
unless
before
we
the
send
board,
building permit out.
there is a hold on enforcement, so we can't do anything. While the case is pending,
And by the way,
however,
and the fact that he put them on here,
case will be pending.
as part of the case, it might trigger the building permit after
So,
looking at it.
Mr. Pellegrini, would
There
you
are,
like to make a?
there are 10, just for informational, there are 10 dumpsters on the property existing. The Dunkin' Donuts proposes to have their own little area for a dumpster, so.
10 dumpsters.
10 dumpsters. There are 2 sheds, and there are 3 cargo containers in the rear
Also, we're not approving those.
that have a lot of graffiti, exactly. If the dumpsters are on the side, it would not affect it's outside of the rear of the building. The sheds are in the rear of the building, and the 3 cargo containers in the rear of the building. If those were denied and removed, they could provide additional parking.
No one's going to park in back there to go to
The
those
employees
stores.
could park there.
That's a good idea, but also, can we check if any of that stuff's approved already?
It has-
Does that take a lot? No, I mean, maybe those other dumpsters are already part of other applications.
It's probably gonna take some time just because it's a strip mall,
Okay, then don't.
so.
Maybe we could just opine that none of the other ton dumpsters, 2 sheds and 3 cargo. The ones that are before us, we'll say we're not granting.
I think that we should deny the 2 sheds, deny the 3 cargo containers, allow the Dunkin' Donuts drive-through to be granted temporarily, and that's the end of the
And say in it,
case.
nothing in this application should be taken to approve the other 10 dumpsters, or, just so they're,
Yeah, that's fine, that would work. Yes, and whatever signs are relevant.
whatever he put in here that's not part of Dunkin', we're going to say is denied. Okay.
Except
And
for
if
the
you don't-
You're gonna do temporary.
Yes, drive-throughs. That's the motion.
Second?
Well, is the dumpster temporary?
No, on his own property? Yeah, why not?
Okay, hold on, can I just ask? So, the parking variance is not temporary. What else is temporary?
The drive-through,
Okay, so the parking variance is permanent,
The signs are also going to.
temporary,
temporary.
just because the parking thing may be an issue for the business, so.
Sure.
As long as we all are on the same.
So, temp, we have drive-through and signs.
Okay,
Everything else is denied.
or permanent.
Well, permanent.
Parking is permanent.
Yep, we're going to deny.
Accessory structures
With a
denied.
special exception to maintain 2 storage containers, 3 sheds, and we can also make as a condition that they are to remove the 10 dumpsters, 2 sheds, and 3 cargo
Well, we're not
containers
gonna
to
make
the
them
rear of the
remove
building.
those 10 dumpsters, because those might be part of other applications. So
I'll
just
look at
not, we could just say, or that's
Just,
too much
just,
work for you.
just carve it out, don't
Yeah, we
even
could just say
address it.
nothing in this application
Permits.
permits,
Right.
is an approval, or, passes on the other 10 dumpsters, right? Even
Yes.
if you leave it out, because those aren't actually here, so we don't have to
Just
deny.
the 2 storage containers and 3 sheds we will deny.
3 storage containers, 2
And you
sheds.
guys want them to have their own dumpster enclosure, yes?
Yes,
Fabulous. Okay.
it's 3 containers.
Nothing yet.
It's 3 containers.
She knows, she just said it the opposite.
Well, no, it's special exception to maintain 2 storage containers
I
and 3
thought
sheds.
I thought there were 3, but
That's how that's what's
I understand. I'll verify that and if there's any change.
Administrative?
Do look entertaining.